My friends, often that enlightenment, and I call it an enlightenment evening, and the promise of what can happen as long as we stay the course with the Honorable Sam Condor and Tim Harris. And he has asked during this powerful presentation that we just not sit on our hands, but we should be calling into the radio stations in St. Kitts and Nevis. We should be writing on the internet. We should be asking searching questions, and both of these gentlemen have given you enough information for you to go about and ask some serious questions as to what is happening to our country, because our federation is not doing well. And it is not doing well after 17, 18 years, you know, of the misleadership of Douglas. Douglas is going to be the only leader we ever had who, after 17 years, leave the people in greater hardship than when he first came in. The only leader who's ever and will ever do that. Now, I know we've been here quite a while, and I'm sure there are many of you who would like to ask questions. Somebody's waving something at me at the back. I don't know what they're trying to say. But this is the time for you to ask any question that you may want to of either of our esteemed politicians. So if you can come forward in this aisle here, behind each other, whoever wants to ask a question, just come over here, please.
My question is to both the Honorable Sam Condor and Honorable Dr. Harris. I have really two basic questions. Now, for what I understand, our governor's role is supposed to be one where if he realizes that we're not following the spirit of our Constitution, he can force an election to be called. And there is no reason why he shouldn't take the step to do that, based on what you're saying right now. The other thing I'm wondering about, you said there are 11 seats, elected seats. And you're saying that right now, there's 6 people in opposition. Well, in that case, as you said, the government shouldn't be operating. And the governor of St. Kitts should be doing something about it. Right? So, all I'm thinking here is that, for my other question is, these people then, with Douglas, number 5. So why don't those 4 people who are still with it not realize that we are heading for disaster and just simply leave Douglas alone? Leave Labour, leave everything and join you guys, the opposition. Why don't those 4 people have the guts to walk across the aisle and join the opposition? And then I'm sure that Douglas wouldn't have a leg to stand on. So they're my basic questions, and I'd like to have some more enlightenment from you guys as to what's really going on with regards to those 2 things.
Thank you, Mr. Atwood. The next.
As well, as I understand it, like Dr. Harris told you, not everything is written in the Constitution, and constitutions differ. For example, there's a case in the Solomon Islands, a famous case that people are talking about, where there was a motion of no confidence and the Premier then refused to take it to the House, and the Governor General made it happen, right? In fact, the Solomon Islands, I don't know if you're aware of that case, but that's a colony. It is now an independent country. They have a British governor, and he was able to take it to make them go to the Parliament. But I don't think in our case, our Constitution provides for that. As I understand it, the only thing the Governor General could do is once the motion of no confidence is debated and it fails. Well, if the motion succeeds, what will happen is that he will have to go to the Governor General and advise the Governor General of his tender his resignation or advise him that he's going to have elections sometime. So I don't think the Governor General has any legal obligation to force him to call a general election. That is why it's so. But you would have noticed as well, what we try to do in order to give a hint is that we have written, the six of us have written to the Governor General saying to him that we, just in case there was any doubt, that we do not support the present Prime Minister, and we, when the motion of no confidence comes, we will vote in favor of the motion of no confidence. So, but I don't think the Governor General has any legal authority, and that is as I understand it. The second thing is about the why other members of the government are not taking a position. Well, that is self-evident. You know, people have their own agendas and their own personal preferences, and there's anything that we could, you know, do in terms of that. So that's their personal position. Maybe they feel that what's happening is right. Maybe it's a matter of conscience. Maybe, you know, a situation of what they feel about the situation. But we felt differently. That is why we are where we are today. They probably feel that they want to continue with that position. So there's anything that we can't speak for them. They have to speak for themselves. They are aware of the situation, and they have made a decision. Because in standing where they are today is a decision they make.
Yeah, that's right.
That is a decision. We have made a decision different to them, and that is our life.